We've walked through the forest, discovered the world's oceans, and safaried on the African plains. This week, we're directing our attention away from the biomes and going towards one of the zoo's 2 animal type-based attractions. This is the award-winning International Orangutan Center at the Indianapolis Zoo. Construction for this one-of-a-kind display broke ground in 2012, completed in 2014, and took 5 years to design. It sits on 2 acres of land, replaced an island of lemurs, is composed of 4 public exhibits, and cost $26 million. It's not often you see zoos spend that much on just one species, and without a doubt it wins the award for the most bizarre animal exhibit in, I guess you could say, the hemisphere. According to the zoo, the International Orangutan Center was designed to stimulate the apes' physical, social, and intellectual abilities to test and study their cognitive behavior. So, in other words, it's basically a giant public laboratory. The center has been harshly criticized for it being architecturally barren and conjures up only a whiff of naturalism. Ironically, it was actually honored by the AZA in 2015 for the zoo's use of innovation in designing this complex. So overall, it sticks to the fundamentals in regards to orangutan behavior, and I will defend, the IOC at least succeeds at that. Despite its simple impression, it does come up with some pretty eye-opening features that I will point out along the way. So let's begin with the tour at what's known as the East Oasis, the first display that's actually located over 100 feet away from the main building. It's basically a 400 square foot box where you'd usually see one of the orangutans interacting with keepers after they had just trekked the Hootan Trail, the first mentioned spectacle, a network of 10 towers connected by 500 feet worth of cables that allows the orangutans to travel from one side of the complex to the other, all while being up to 80 feet in the air. It truly is an unbelievable sight to see an ape walk over public space with nothing but air directly beneath them. This is what I meant when I said that IOC at least succeeds in encouraging fundamental orangutan behavior. What are they known for? Living in trees their entire lives. Where do you usually see them at a zoo? On the ground. In Indianapolis, yes, that still is the case, but from experience, you'll see some of the orangutans at ground level, and at least a few painted on the foreground of a blue sky. If you are far away and see a hairy human-like creature somewhat tight-roping across towers, it's an orangutan. I got this shot from 430 feet away. And yes, they can choose to go up and come down from one of the 3 towers whenever they please, but not every orangutan has access to the Hootan Trail at all times. The path inclines past the Plaza and takes you into the building. Just about everything you need to know about orangutans can be found in here. The highlight, however, is a multi-storied 3,000 square foot atrium where you can get face-to-face with the animals at another level. This is where you'll find most of the animals spend their time. The Indianapolis Zoo is home to 12 orangutans, 7 females and 5 males of both Sumatran and Bornean species, the oldest being 40 and the youngest at the age of 2. You can even go on their website and get to know each one, with personal information ranging from when they were born down to their specific personalities. There's always an abundance of hay for the apes to build nests out of, along with ladders, ropes, and fake vines for them to play on. Even when they're indoors, they can still climb 50 feet off the ground and touch every square inch of the ceiling. You are exited on the opposite side from where you came from, and your next view is the inviting Plaza. But the second feature of the Orangutan Center I'd like to point out is a 1,200-foot-long Skyline aerial cable ride that takes visitors around the entire perimeter of the exhibit. It allows you to get nearly eye level with the orangutans and gives off a spectacular view of the Indianapolis skyline while getting you up to 50 feet in the air. And why not mention the third feature while we're at it? The one that is most noticeable of them all, the 150-foot Beacon of Hope, the center of the main building. It is tilted, which may suggest that it reflects roof lines of Batak architecture in Sumatra. The top is lit each night as a symbol for saving the world's orangutans, and apparently the animals can flip the switch themselves. At that height, the beacon is visible from just about anywhere you walk in the zoo, and even parts of downtown Indianapolis. And in the plaza below the beacon, you can walk up to an overwhelmingly large panel that's nearly 80 feet long. Here, of course, as you saw, this is where you can view the orangutans at ground level, where, if you're lucky, you'll witness one of them regurgitate their food on the tilted window, only for them to eat it over and over again. And yes, other than the Hootan Trail, they do have access to other outdoor space. 2, in fact. The next stop on the main path is the West Oasis. It's very similar to the east, but over here, this oasis is connected to the building and comes with a small grassy yard with another entrance to the cable. It then leads to the final stop, the most ignored exhibit in the entire zoo, what I assume is the South Oasis. Another simple yard where I was happy to see this. And just like this guy, our journey ends here. Whether this was your first impression on the place, or if you've actually seen it in person, I'd very much like to hear your opinion on the International Orangutan Center, as the overall zoo fan base is torn on the subject. One half says they're glad it encourages orangutans to spend time at their natural height, while others have hinted that the zoo should even lose their accreditation from the AZA for just building this. So if you'd like, leave a comment below. Stick around for the trivia, and in the next couple months, expect there to be 5 more zoos added to the rotation. Have a nice day, and as always, thank you for watching Zoo Tours.